If you want to buy a new gaming PC and you want to play at 1440p resolution high FPS, this video is going to be for you. I will show you 3 different PCs for 3 different budgets. The first one will allow you to play at 165 plus FPS on average, the second one 240 plus FPS, and the last one and the best one is going to be able to average 360 plus or even more FPS on average. And all the links to these PCs will be down below in the video description. With that being said, let's start. With the first PC, we have the cheapest one on the list, 144 plus or 165 plus FPS on average, 1440p resolution. This one has the Ryzen 5 5600 for the CPU, and then you get the RX 6800 for the GPU. This CPU and GPU combo will allow you to play every game at 1440p high to ultra settings while having a smooth experience, and if you want to play easy to run games, you will be able to achieve 144 plus FPS on average. I will talk about the performance in a second, but before doing that I want to show you the rest of the components. You get a B550 motherboard which has all the features that you're going to need for gaming. For the CPU cooler you get the stock cooler from AMD, which is going to be way more than enough for our Ryzen 5 5600, and if you want to add an aftermarket CPU cooler you are looking to spend around $20 extra. The link to an alternative CPU cooler will be in the description. Then for the memory kit you get 32 gigs of DDR4 memory, which is going to be great not only for gaming but also for streaming in case you want to start streaming. Then you get a 1TB Gen 4 SSD, a Bitfinex Flow for the case, which in my opinion is an amazing case because it comes with 4 pre-installed fans, plenty of airflow, and it's only $70. And last but not least, we have an 800 watt 80 plus gold power supply, C-tier rated unit, meaning that it's very decent quality, especially for this type of build. The total price is $875 when I'm recording this video, so around $900 and in terms of performance on a 12 AM average at 1440p from TechSpot on ultra settings in high demanding titles, the RX 6800 was able to average 84 FPS, meaning that you will be getting a very smooth experience even in high demanding games. And as I said before, games like Valorant and Fortnite, you will be able to achieve 144 plus FPS on average at 1440p competitive settings. So if you want to buy a 144Hz monitor, this PC is going to be ideal for you, especially if you want to stay under $1,000. Moving up a tier, we have the $1,200 1440p Ultra 240 plus FPS on average PC. This one has the Ryzen 5 7600X, which is a much better option than the 5600 because it's more upgradable over time and it's from the newest AM5 platform, which means that down the line, if you want to upgrade to a newer CPU from AMD, you will be able to without the need to upgrade the motherboard as well. And then for the GPU you have different options. I went with the RX 7800 XT for the $1,200 PC, but I will give you more options in a second while showing you the level of performance. Then for the memory kit you get 32 gigs of RAM, but this time is DDR5 memory, 6000 MHz CL30 timings. You get an ASRock B650 Pro RS motherboard with plenty of features for gaming. Then you get the Deepcool HG400 for the CPU cooler, which is going to be enough for our Ryzen 5 7600X. You get a 1TB Gen 4 SSD once again. You get the Montech Air 100 ARGB for the case, which in my opinion one of the best price performance cases in the market. You get 4 pre-installed fans, a front mesh panel, and it's a micro ATX case, meaning that it's going to fit basically in any desk. Also, it's one of the best looking cases in my opinion. Then for the power supply we get the NZXT C750. This is 8-tier rated and is a 750 watt 80 plus gold power supply, which fits the requirements for this system. As I said before, this PC is $1,200 and it can be more expensive if you decide to go with a different GPU. Talking about GPUs, the RX 7800 XT on that same 12 AM average at 1440p ultra settings in high demanding titles was able to average 100 FPS. And in easy to run shooters, as the ones I've mentioned before, you will be able to achieve 240 plus FPS on average. But if Fortnite is your main game, Nvidia GPUs work better. So in that case, I would recommend you spending the extra and going with the RTX 4070 Super for around $80 to $100 extra. Yes, it's more expensive, but you get more performance and it's going to be a much better option, especially if you play Fortnite. And then the other option is going with the RX 7900 GRE, which is around $50 more expensive than the 7800 XT. XT, and it's slightly faster, so here you're getting better performance for a more expensive price. I would only recommend you making this upgrade, once again, if your main game is not Fortnite, and if you want a slightly better performance for a more expensive price. But if you want to achieve 240 plus FPS on average, you will be able to do that with the 7800 XT, no problem. So the 7900 GRE is not going to be my favorite upgrade option, but you can of course consider it. And then if you want 360 plus FPS on average or even more in esports shooters, I recommend you getting the most expensive PC in this video, which has the Ryzen 7 7800X3D for the CPU, which is one of the fastest CPUs in the entire market, combined with the RTX 4070 Ti Super, which in my opinion is the best GPU for 1440p resolution when it comes to overall performance. I will talk about the performance in a second, but before doing that, I will show you all of the components. You get the B650 Gaming Plus Wi-Fi motherboard from the AM5 platform, you get the same 32 gigs of DDR5 memory, an aftermarket CPU cooler in the Thelma-Wright Phantom Spirit for our Ryzen 7, which is super power efficient by the way. Then you get a 1TB Gen 4 SSD, which you can always upgrade down the line if you want to, and it's going to be a very easy upgrade, so if you ever need more storage, you can always add more. Then for the case we have the Deepcool CG560, this one once again for pre-installed fans. I love how this one looks, great airflow and is better quality than any other case that I've mentioned so far throughout this video. And last but not least we have the same NZXT 750W 80 plus volt power supply, which is going to be sufficient for this exact build because of how power efficient the CPU and GPU are at this tier level. The total price for this PC is going to be around $1,700 depending on when you're watching this video. You can check the links in the description for the latest prices. And in terms of performance at 1440p resolution on that 12M average, the 4070 Ti Super was able to average 120 FPS, which is the fastest that I have mentioned so far. And in terms of performance in esports titles, as I said before, 360 plus FPS on average, that's not going to be an issue for this PC. For a little less, you can consider the RX 7900 XT for the GPU, which is slightly faster in terms of rasterized performance, and it's about $60 cheaper when I'm recording this video. The reason why I wouldn't recommend you downgrading to the 7900 XT is because you lose Nvidia features such as a better level of ray tracing, DLSS, which is the Nvidia upscaler, and it has a better image quality than FSR, and it's going to be helpful especially if you're going to play at 4K down the line. And then Nvidia usually is better when it comes to productivity work and content creation, and on top of that, if Fortnite is going to be your main game, as I said throughout this video, Nvidia just works better, and it's only $60 more expensive, which at this price point is not a lot of extra money. I would only go with the 7900 XT if all you're going to do is gaming, you don't play Fortnite, and you only care about rasterized performance. Otherwise, I would always pick the 4070 Ti Super at this price point. Anyway, if you need personal PC help and you want someone by choosing the right PC for you, which is going to be me, you will have the link to my personal PC help down below in the video description. That's the top link, and I will help you out from scratch. So you tell me whether you want a PC build or a pre-built PC, you tell me your budget, your needs, and I will be giving you everything that you need. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.